Hey, how's it going, everyone? So, mental health came to see me. Um, okay, so basically, the neighbours upstairs basically reported me for the stuff that I was saying on my live. I was not even directly talking about them. In fact, I wasn't talking about them at all, but for some reason, they got disturbed by that video, decided to report me. Oh my God, they just take everything so fucking personally. Jesus. So, yeah, they reported me based on the video that I made yesterday. It's very obvious that they did that. Or no, tell a lie. They could have made a report on me like a few days after that live where I told you guys that the mother blamed her kids. So it could have been either, you know, it could have either been that time where I revealed that she blamed her kids for what happened, or it could have been yesterday's video. But like, come on, man. I mean, if it was to do with the fact that you were blaming your kids, not that I have a shred of sympathy for my neighbors at all, but I kind of get that. I get that, but like, reporting me over yesterday's video, which is not even like, you choose to do what you do. Like, don't fucking blame me for having some semblance of understanding when it comes to mental health. Like, don't blame me for understanding it better than you do. Like, you're just taking it so fucking personally. Why do you need to do that? But yeah, they reported me, so mental health assessment came over. Gail Edwards was left out of the conversation for this one, so there was another expert brought in, a guy. I don't think I've seen him before, but there was a guy, there was like the other two doctors that were present at the last assessment, and they basically just asked me how everything was going. I tried to ask if there's been a change, but they were really vague on the details because they said it was Laura Ling that contacted them and said that I needed another assessment. I'm sorry about the noise in the back. They said it was Laura Ling that told them that I needed another assessment, and there wasn't much details given. So I'm thinking, this is really serious. So why would they not give you, help me here, right? If it's something as serious as somebody's mental health, then I'm thinking that if it's really that serious, like, first of all, they should give you the details on why the person, it seems to be in danger before you show up there, or before you are asked to show up there. You should be given the details, right? Before they decide to assess you, and, do you know what I mean? It just seems really, really iffy that these people would, like, just be brought around there based on nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? It just seems a bit iffy. But I told them the truth. I said, look, I ain't got no problems with the neighbors upstairs. I'm tuning them out. I'm doing what I need to do. And the thing is, these people who are doing the assessment know that regardless of whether or not I end up being sectioned, if there is a fucking problem, I'm gonna tell them that there's a fucking problem. I'm not gonna hide the shit. They know. I'm the same person who tried to get myself sectioned when she felt like she couldn't cope with, like, upstairs shenanigans anymore. So they know if there's something wrong with me, if there's something really going on, I'm not gonna lie. They know that. So time will tell with regards to what they want to do next, but it just seems like the report is basically a way for them to kind of keep control of the situation. It just seems to me like the reason why that report was made is because I'm a little bit too calm, I'm a little bit too collected, there's a little bit too little things going on in my case, because the way it was supposed to work was that, okay, the landlord made a deal with me. They said, if you chill for the next couple of months, fucking chill, then we'll let you stay. That was the deal that they made with me. So I feel that because I've actually been doing that and I've been true to my word, Now there's a problem, because now the people who are on my case cannot retain control of the situation. The attempted sectioning, the repeated attempted sectioning, is about regaining control of the situation. And plus, it's been a while since I've been medically examined, yes? So the sectioning forms like it forms a purpose on multiple levels. It's a multi-purpose exercise here. First of all, it gives the gang stalkers time to regroup and time to, kind of tweak their campaign so that it's more effective in breaking down my spirit. So it gives them more time to do that in privacy without me hearing anything. The second thing is that it allows the gang stalkers, or the people who are in charge of this social experimentation, to test me out biologically to see how the irradiation and the psychological torture has affected my body. Okay, so they need to get me tested in order to ascertain that. They can't do that. They cannot do that if I'm not sectioned, because how difficult it is for me to get a GP appointment out here, to get myself tested voluntarily. So they know they're not going to be able to test out how the weapons and the psychological torture is going to have an effect on me without getting me sectioned. That's the quickest way to do it. So there's that part. The third part is the humiliation factor. They love that. The fourth part is it renders me docile. So if I'm medicated, even though I don't really need it, not their type of medication anyway. So if I'm medicated, it keeps me docile. It's basically the chemical version of a fucking police truncheon. It keeps me calm, it keeps me docile. And I think what they're hoping for is that it will keep me like a combination of being erratic and timid at the same time. So I think that's what they're hoping for. And plus it's, given the side effects of those meds, especially the strongest ones, easy kill. Especially if they overdose me. Because they've overdosed, people who have been sectioned have been overdosed before. It's not a new thing. Overdosing is an easy kill because nobody gives a shit about mentally ill people anyways. And especially not serious ones who understand how the world is actually built and is basically popping everybody else's bubble. They don't give a damn about us. So it's very, very easy to overdose me once I'm in there. And then on top of that, when you get into a mental health facility, they normally take away your phones. I was lucky to even have my phone the last time I was sectioned. I was lucky to even have my phone. Okay? So, they take your phone and stuff away. So if they abuse you in there, if they do stuff to you that they're not supposed to be doing, all you can do is talk about it. You can't get evidence in real time. So if you're in a mental health facility, regardless of whether you're a TI or not, if the government has it in for you and they decide to section you, you're a sitting duck. So all of this is to gain control of the situation. People know about my life. They've been on my life. They've been watching my life. I'm getting too much control over the situation. And they're trying to change that. At the root of it all, that's what all of this is about. That's why the report was made. Now, I do have some recording on it. I didn't record the entire conversation because I asked them for permission first, and there was a lot of hemming and hawing and all that type of stuff. In the end, I recorded. They knew I was going to record, so I did it. I said to them, look, I'm going to record this conversation, and if you've got a problem with it, you can easily leave. They said, no, we're not going to leave. I said, well, I'm going to record because this is my flat. So they knew that they were recorded. But at first they were like, no, I'd rather you didn't do that because that isn't nice. I said, are you planning to say anything that you're going to have to take back? And then he said, no, but it's not. And I'm like, well, this is my home. And I would prefer the conversation to be recorded. So I recorded it in the end. And I've got the conversation here. So So it was very obvious that a report was made. They don't come over here unless there's a second party that says, I'm concerned for this person's mental health, or they're not coping. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the way it works is that people cannot come into your home. Like if you decide to section yourself, that's one thing. But if a second party decides to say this person is not coping, this person's this person's that, if a second party decides to do that, then technically it's an objective observer, right? So that's why mental health takes it seriously, even if the report is from the same people who have been harassing you without success, by the way, because I've been tuning them out. Even if it's the same people harassing you without success, technically they're seen as an objective observer, and that's why their reports mean more than mine does. If I report myself, it doesn't mean anything, but if somebody else reports me, that means something, because they're an objective observer. Technically, it's a second witness to it. And the people reporting me have the benefit of keeping themselves anonymous, which doesn't make sense to me, because if you're concerned about somebody's mental health, then why would you keep yourself anonymous? Again, it's about keeping control of the situation. So, yeah, I've got to get my business done today, mate. Got to get my business done. Shit. So let me just download this sucker. All right. Basically that, okay, fine, I'd want to stay, because the thing is, because of my progress and the progress that I've made here in comparison to London, I felt that it was better. All right, so this is part of the conversation that was recorded. I didn't record the whole thing. Let me just... All right, let me just... Basically that, okay, fine, I'd want to stay, because the thing is, because of my progress and the progress that I've made here in comparison to London, I felt that it was better that I stayed here and stayed in the flat. The landlord said, all right, so we'll do that, but you cannot react to them. Okay. That was the trade-off. So I thought, okay, let me just not react. I'll just do what I do. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing what I do. I've been focusing on trying to get a business started, well, too. And I've been focusing on, like, just basically talking to my family and talking to the people that I love. Like, I do not have time for the back and forth.
Okay. I think when you spoke to us last, you were planning to go to London to stay with a friend of yours in London.
No, just with family for Christmas.
Just,
family for Christmas.
Fair enough. Yeah. And you did that. Did you? Yeah. Okay.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
So when did you come back?
I came back on Boxing Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And in all other respects here, you've been able to get on with your life, have you?
I mean, basically, I've just tuned them out. So.
Yeah. Okay.
And have you sort of heard them talking about you or anything like that? Or?
Oh yeah, they have been, but the thing is that, I mean, when it came to the police, I must have said something like that, because the thing is, what happened is that the police came over. I was able to hear them, because remember, the door is right there. So the police knocked on the door, and they said, we've been hearing some things, we've been hearing some disturbances have been going on, and the mother just blamed her kids, which was really ugly. But I didn't shout or anything. I didn't say anything directly to them. I just said that was a straight lie, and the police must have heard me. But other than that, there's been no interaction between me and them. Okay. The kids have been taunting me up until like just today. Like, there's been no screaming, no taunting, no nothing today, this morning, nothing, okay? So there's been screaming, there's been taunting, but it's all on the part of upstairs, nothing to do with me.
Okay.
And despite all of that, you because I think last time you were saying, well, you want to leave, you want to move out, but despite all of what's been happening. You're now able to live here and get on with your life, even though all of this has been happening. Is that...
Well, I'm staying here for my family, so remembering that, it just puts me in a better position.
Okay.
If it was really, really about me and only myself, I would have left here already. I wouldn't even ask permission. But because, you know, I see how happy my family is with how much I've changed and how much I've developed as a person, I thought, just stay here.
Yeah,
family
that's
live
very
locally?
good. Very good.
No, they live in London. They live in London, but the thing is, the distance. It's actually helped them because they have so much on their plate already. Me going back there and being another dependent for them to deal with, it would have just been an incredible strain on them, and it would have been a strain on me because we'd end up resenting each other.
Okay.
So, for me, my family is the only reason why I'm staying here. And seeing as I'm staying here, you know, if I need to talk about things, I talk on my phone, like I record myself on my phone. If I need to talk about anything, or I will call the Samaritans, talk to them, call my dad, talk to him, call like any of my targeted friends, talk to them.
Okay.
Like for me, it's just about like, if I was only here for my own interest, I think I would find this a lot harder. But because I'm here, ultimately, for my family and for their benefit, I'm finding this a lot easier to deal with. And what also makes it easier is the fact that the taunting has lessened from upstairs.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? And even when they do taunt, it's just like, all right.
Yeah.
Just ignore it.
What sort of things do they say, or what are the taunts like?
I think it's just, the little girl doesn't really say anything like horrible. She just keeps saying we won because she thought her saying we won was what got me angry.
Yeah.
So she kept saying it, but then she started to realize it was annoying her family. So she said it to them instead because they were starting to get angry with her.
Right.
So it's like everyone was blaming the little girl for everything, but the little boy and the mother and all the adults that have been up there, they've said far worse things to me than her.
Right.
So, like, the little girl has been getting the blame for everything, and I feel like it's badly affecting her mental health because she can't sleep. She's going through all this. Everybody's yelling at her, and it's like, I just don't think it's right. I mean, she's annoying. Don't get me wrong, but like, just blaming her and blaming the kids for everything is just out of order to me.
And Fabio, can you sleep? Are you able to?
Oh yeah.
You're able to sleep in your bedroom?
Because no, I can't sleep in there because again, the restaurant's there and they're operating until late, and then the nail bar is up at about 9. They get here about 9 to set up, so I'm still not sleeping in there. But things have been quieter, at least in here.
Okay.
So yeah.
Did you sleep in here?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Fabian, when we saw you last time, I think you were all like at the end of your tether, or almost at the end of your tether. You seem a lot calmer.
I was at the end of my tether like a couple of weeks before you came to see me. After all, I did try to section myself.
Yeah.
So by the time you came around, I'd already gotten a grip on the situation.
Right.
And now that you've come again, obviously it's died down more and more because it's affecting the kids really badly, and obviously it's really bad for them.
You're much more relaxed today.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've got stuff to be getting on with. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And can I ask, and this is my ignorance, I know you're open to East ATS. Do you think that you need support with your mental health?
I wanted a therapist, but it's just turned into this whole other thing. So it's like, I don't know if I can necessarily trust mental health at this point, because all I wanted was a therapist, and now it's turned into something else. And clearly you're here because a report has been made, but there's been no incident on my end at all.
Well, to be fair, it's a very unclear request.
That's what I'm saying. Why have they got you down here?
When a request is made, we then have to come.
But why didn't they give you the details? That's irresponsible.
It is, and we'll take that up with
Sorry.
sorry.
No, I've got to move this out of the way because I don't want you tripping over it.
Thank you.
Okay. So, and are you prescribed medication at all?
No.
Okay. So as far as you're concerned, there haven't been any more incidents with the neighbours?
Not for the time being,
you're
no.
learning to live with it?
Yeah, because they've quieted down, yeah.
And you haven't made any contact with the police or anything like that?
No, not at all.
When was the last time you did contact the police?
I can't even remember.
Well, that was before we came, isn't it? You were telling us.
Yeah, I think, that was a while ago.
When we came, then before that you had contacted them. Yeah.
That was a while back.
And you're planning to stay here, live in this flat and try and work around the issues?
Well, it depends on the landlords really, because I've already said I'd be willing to stay here. They said don't cause any more ruckus. I haven't caused any more ruckus. So there's no problem, there's no issue, on my end anyway. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm sorry for budging into your flat like this.
You didn't actually barge in, I invited you in, but
yes.
Thank you.
I mean,
fair point, mate, fair point. So, about that, the landlord, I basically use shorthand to describe the conditions of the landlords, right? But what they actually said, I'm going to get the email here. Let me just look. I've got to get up the latest email from the council. Alright, so I've got to... Oh, Lord. Alright. Because he responded. The person at the council responded. So... Okay, so... Basically, the relocation agents said that she requested that there be a period of stability in the property. This person is referring to fewer incidents with the police and with your neighbor. So basically, I have held up my end of the bargain. The only people who haven't held up their end of the bargain are the neighbors. Okay? They said it's a two-way street. And they can't... Yeah. Yeah. So basically they said even if they were going to evict me, that they can't just kick me out just like that. I'd need notice. But it looks like for the time being, because I've held up my end of the bargain, and yeah, I've been making videos and I've been talking to you guys, but I held up my end of the bargain. They've been shouting and yelling and screaming and all that kind of, like cussing and shit like that. Like, I have not responded to them because I'm not interested in doing it. I made a decision to stay here for my family. So why the fuck am I gonna be out here jeopardizing it? Because at the end of the day, if I jeopardize this shit, then it's not just me. It's not just me that suffers. It's my family that suffers. It's everybody else that suffers. So why the fuck am I gonna do stuff to jeopardize that? And then on top of that, I have to think about other TIs as well. I've got to think about you guys. Like, I can't be out here jeopardizing my shit. Because then how does it help everyone else? Like, I can't be doing that shit. This is not London. This is Brighton. We're in a whole different ball game now. Now, I'm bringing London Fabienne into it, but London Fabienne is smart enough to know where the fuck she is. Okay? So I ain't about to jeopardize nothing. Like, they can make all their little reports, the little reports that they want to make, man. I've got shit to do. And at the end of the day, if they want to be petty like that, I can't help that. All I can do is what I can do. Now, I had my period, like, I think it was like, yeah, it was a few days ago I had my period. And I think they were kind of relying on that to do the work for me. But I've been really, really calm, like, in spite of the period. So that didn't work. But listen, man, I've got to do my readings. I've got to get on with my day. I've got to do my shit. Whatever the neighbours are going to do is whatever the neighbours are going to do. If there's going to be a sectioning, fine. But, like, they need to get on with it and stop fucking pretending like it's for my benefit. If they're gonna section me, then fine, but they need to stop pretending like it's for my benefit and just be real about the fucking situation. It's got nothing to do with my health. Because if I'd have been starting shit, I would have let people know. I literally told that this is the same person that turned around and told the council, yeah, I wanted to beat my neighbour's ass. Do you seriously think somebody like me is gonna lie if there really is a problem? Come on now. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I've got the daily readings to do. I'm already late. Check out Real Justice to Road for the daily readings. I love you guys. Take care. Have a blessed day. Love you, my fellow TIs. Bye-bye.